My mic isn't muted this time, guys. I streamed a stream not too long ago, and my mic was muted the whole time. Thankfully, I just checked my mic isn't muted this time. But basically, I was gonna ask a question to my boy Cat Curry, and we was basically talking about Law and Kid. Um, what do you think Law's like final storyline in the series would be? Because like we seem to be so close to Endgame. You know, is Kid out? Does the not Kid? Is Law out? Like, does Blackbeard have his Del fruit? Like, is Blackbeard gonna use Del fruit to do that surgery to the A's? Zaha, I lost weight. Like when he shows back up. Like what is going on? What do you think will happen for Kid and Law from this point in time? Like honestly, like I had this idea for Kid that I could see Kid kind of getting like this Vegeta type of arc to where let me check the stream. Guys, I streamed a stream not too long ago. Zaha, I lost weight. Like I can see Kid getting this Vegeta type arc where it's like an emotional arc to where Kid becomes a much more like stronger and smarter fighter and things like that. You still there? Cause he had to go talk to someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's the way I see Kid going. I see Kid like having this like emotional arc to where like maybe some of his crew did die from the attack because I can't see his entire crew being able to be saved. Um, and like he regrets it and feels guilty as he should for being a dumbass. And you know, basically he becomes like nicer and like a more like smarter and calm fight. And if he does fight again, he becomes like a smarter and like more calm fighter. Did you just fart in the can and mic?
No,
What was that? Oh, you
that
sniffling.
was yeah, sniffing.
Oh,
No, I'm not sniffing. You know, never mind. If people are gonna get thoughts, they'll get them regardless.
I just want I just want to take a sniff. Um, just want to take a sniff.
Hmm.
So what you think? What you think? Law's final storyline will be?
Well, um, if it isn't somehow tied into the eternal youth, immortality, surgery, whatever you want to call it, then I think it's got to tie in with um finding out all of the mysteries behind um the D tied into the because otherwise he would just be wasted. Okay, yeah, he'd technically be wasted if his whole purpose was to just grant eternal youth or life to somebody, but um,
I don't think he'd
at
be
least
wasted because to me, man, I feel like kid, not kid. I keep calling him kid because I keep thinking about kid. To me, Law is like doesn't like a lot of his storylines, like And by the way, we can talk freely, man. Just make sure like when you talk on stream, you can just talk how you talk. Uh, anyways, just forget the camera's there. Just forget like it's on stream. Um,
right.
cause the reason I asked that, I was gonna ask that like at first I was just gonna ask that just to you, and then I was like, this would be a good stream topic. And the reason why I asked that is because of the fact that like you know because the reason why I was like Law probably out of the story because I feel like Law's completed his storylines. We got his backstory. He got his revenge more or less. Even though he didn't get the level of revenge I want him to get against Dofi. I would have liked him to beat the shit out of Dofi or at least to get to be 2v1 against Dofi. But he got revenge against Dofi. He helped defeat Kaido like he said he would and things like that. Um like I can't think of much else for him to do besides the whole thing with and two, I don't know where it was from, but I think it was in the SBS or something where Oda didn't really plan for the supernova. Like I think he just brought them in because he thought they were cool, which is probably one of the reasons why Kid is wasted as a character. Um, and why the other supernovas are wasted. But Kid, I mean, Law
Mhm.
got so much presence because of the fact he's so popular. So I don't see Law doing much else beyond dying from Blackbeard, or using that fruit to save someone's life. Um, like maybe he'll get one more final battle against someone. I just don't know who. And honestly, as much as I like Law, I think one issue I have with Law, which almost isn't an issue, but kind of something that I feel like is a hindrance, is that Law is so incredibly powerful that it's really hard to scale him. I almost feel like like Law feels like he almost can beat everybody, but Oda doesn't have him defeat everybody. You get what
Well, I
I
mean,
mean?
he never. That's kind of the problem with giving characters abilities that seem
Like, Law
as
feels
though they're not limited,
he almost
but then also not giving other characters a plausible way to get through those abilities.
right.
Um, you know, like for example, Law when he's being affected by that despicable female disease or whatever that Doc Q uh, uses on him, and he mentions how you can channel Hockey to resist the ability of a devil fruit to kind of break yourself out of things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if that hadn't been introduced this far along in the story, maybe that could have been the reason why Law didn't try to use certain moves on Doflamingo, because you notice he never tries using amputate. He never even attempts to cut him into pieces like he does, so many other characters he goes up against.
Right.
If Oda had just said, "Oh, well, Doflamingo knows how to use Hockey to resist those certain abilities," and Law knows about that, so it's not even worth attempting it, might have made things seem a lot more sensible or sensible,
I get what
believable.
you're saying. Keep doing. You on the road, man. You on the road.
Um, so revealing that Hockey can be used for this purpose, and it's only now been revealed through Law. It's like, okay, well, who can do it and who can't? And, if we're talking about almost all of the top tiers knowing about this usage of Hockey, is that the reason why, um, individuals like Shanks, for example, have been uncontested by many for so long, despite Devil Fruit abilities having so much crazy potential? Because they can literally, like, let the Hockey flow through and like resist it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I mean, some people might not like that because they might start thinking that Hockey's a little too strong, which I don't personally agree with, but some people feel that way. Um, Now, do I think that resisting a devil fruit ability means, oh, it's not going to have any effect on me? Of course not. Um, Oda would never go that far, um, unless it was like a god of Hockey or something like that. I don't think he's ever going to go that far. But um,
Yeah, I see what you're saying, man. Because like that's my one thing with Law. Like Law is his abilities are so cool and stuff, but I almost feel like Law should have been like a villain to take down instead of
yeah,
like an ally. Because Law is like the things he can do with his fruit. Like no one should be able to defeat this man. Like he can cut you. He can bypass durability. Like I mean, the only thing that's with Law is that you can speed blitz him, which is basically what Dofi was doing. Like you could
yeah,
speed blitz him
pretty
before
much.
he uses his room, but it's like still, man. Like I feel like he like why couldn't he just have cut Kaido in half and like spin him around? If
Well,
is it because of the whole hockey thing that he said to where
yeah,
maybe Kaido's
yeah,
hockey was so strong that he bypassed
yep.
Law's fruit? If
That's
so, when
exactly
were
what
these
it is.
people using this? And if so, when were people using this ability and like where what I don't know. I'm getting tongue twisted now.
Um, so I don't remember the exact dialogue, but during the fight between, I'm just going to call them the Supernovas, and the Supernovas versus Big Mom and Kaido. Um, Law at one point says something to the effect of, "I can't separate them. Their hockey is too strong," which Oda never actually shows it, but through that dialogue, he reveals that, I guess, you know, when hockey is strong enough or overwhelming enough, and it's being focused, that it can make certain abilities a Devil Fruit user would have otherwise used either not take effect or be weaker in terms of potency. Um, Now, I'll be honest with you. I think it would have made things a lot simpler if Oda had just written Kaido in as saying something like, "I'm using my conquerors to do this," you know, because the whole channeling your hockey. Well, what the heck does that mean? Does that mean that just using armament hockey grants that resistance? Is this an ability that's just completely separate from the three forms of hockey? It's making things more confusing than it needs to be.
Yeah.
But since that ability exists, and it seems pretty clear that Law is not the only one who knows about this usage for hockey, um, then that means, I guess, that individuals like Rayleigh, Roger, and um, possibly Whitebeard and Shanks would most likely know about um, that ability, possibly even Garp. Um,
Yeah, I
but
agree.
I mean, again, who really knows? I mean, all I'm trying to say is, um, you know, depending on how that ability to resist the powers of a Devil Fruit user can go, it might actually be the reason why, um, Law wouldn't have just defeated everybody in the One Piece verse.
Yeah,
Um,
could be part. Like, yeah, you're right. It's just that one of the things to where it's like I almost wouldn't blame Oda for killing them off because if it's so hard to ride around Lulu, if it's
yeah,
so hard to ride around Lulu, what the fuck? If it's so hard to write around Law's abilities, I wouldn't blame Oda for just offing them if it's just too much.
the only thing that would make it suck for me is Law isn't just a guy who's got a ridiculous ability. To me, he's got a very interesting personality, a very interesting backstory. He's a mystery.
I
Um,
agree. It's just that
no disrespect to Kid, of course, but I see Kid as basically just like a loudmouthed wrestler who,
no. We could disrespect Kid because Oda disrespects him too.
um, what I mean is that he's the very proud fighter who, um, I don't want to say says "come at me," but
He
that's
basically
essentially
does.
what he
See, the
does.
thing is, right?
Um,
I'm not a Kid fan. For anybody watching or anybody watching the future. But thing is, I do feel bad for Kid fans,
Yeah, same here.
and I do feel bad for how Oda has done Kid. Now, I will show something in a sec to where Kid can arguably be looked at as a well written character because of what uh the other guy named Eustace Kid in real life or something along those lines is who's a pirate, what he stands for, and I'm gonna put it in One Piece VC talk. Um, so here's the thing, right? The reason why, let me see something. Okay, so I put this in One Piece VC talk because um this is apparently what Captain Kid means.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. I just saw the thumbnail for your chapter discussion, which I guess is the stream right now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That was.
Heart of Shanks. Oh my god. Um, sorry about that.
The Emperor Palpatine lightning.
Yeah, man, can we get Conquerors like not lightning, but like hand blasts from the fingers like that? I want to freaking see that. I know it's cliche, but it's like, your devil fruit is now going to weaken.
Yeah. That's why
um,
people are arguing for Mihawk over Shanks because we haven't seen Shanks fight without the sword. Um,
he puts his sword away and just blasts him with one hand.
Unlimited power.
It's like,
So,
or he puts it away and he starts fighting him like using hand to hand. He starts kicking him and punching him with his remaining arm.
oh yeah. Oh he like he breaks his sword with his stub. Uh,
Oh my god. You thought losing my arm made me weaker. It has only made me stronger. Super infinite sub attack.
yeah.
God, that
So
sounded so lame. I apologize to all of the viewers.
nah. Like I said, the stream should be like we're still just doing our thing. People like genuine energy. Uh, they don't
I
like
did
fake.
see that though about Captain William Kidd.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk
Um,
about. Does this mean that Kid is actually a well written character, or does he still suck ass?
for right now, he does.
I think he does too. Cause to me, it's
But
like Oda should make it kind of like I think the only thing that'll make this, if Oda is basing it off of this and why Kid is so unfortunate. This is crazy, man. Literally the most unluckiest pirate in history. Like, no wonder Oda does him like this. But it's kind of like Oda should make it known within the story, if this is the case of what he's doing with Kid. Because I've seen some people argue that Kid is Luffy without plot armor.
uh, I, um, I mean, I would agree with that if it weren't for the fact that Luffy is always creative whenever he's fighting somebody, and Kid. Not that this is a negative necessarily, but Kid is always about that big attack. These impressive metal
Mm-hmm.
creations, and saying like "punk this" or "punk that." It's cool, but unfortunately, it doesn't really amount to much.
Yeah, he's like an edgy kid. Uh,
And and it's a shame because like I'm gonna sound like a parrot here when I say this, but the
yeet
reality is, Kid. I'm not gonna say did because I don't think he's done.
bars.
But
Kid did.
Kid does have a lot of potential. Um, Now, I'm not the only person to suggest this, of course, but I believe his defeat here can lead to him, due to his anger over losing, joining up with Blackbeard so that he can get revenge on Shanks and kill him.
Hmm.
Um, doesn't mean it will happen, but how crazy of a twist would that be if, Kid is just like, nothing else matters to me beyond getting revenge on Shanks here. And if the best way to do that is to side with Blackbeard and in some way help him to kill Shanks, then I'm going to do it. Um, Another thing I'll say is I if this wasn't the first time that Kid had been taken down easily by one of the Yonko, then I don't think people would be angry about this. If
People aren't
Kaido
angry.
never
People are laughing at Kid.
well what I mean is, if it wasn't for the fact that this isn't the first time Kid has been humiliated like this, do you really think we'd be laughing and our other people would be angry about it? I don't. Like, if this had happened,
Like I'm more
you
disappointed
know,
than anything.
yeah, I'm disappointed that, I mean, it's kind of difficult for me because I'm biased, right?
Oh yeah, I definitely like Shanks a lot more than
I
Kid,
like that.
but like
But
but I'm just thinking about story wise. Like I understand that Oda really wants to hype up Shanks. The problem is that like Kid has already been getting shit on enough to
exactly.
where it's like, come on, bro. Like I get that his name means the most unfortunate pirate. The problem is that you don't put that in the story, you
Yeah.
know?
It
Like
it we
okay, so it's kind of like this. The way it feels like it feels as if okay, so here's the thing, right? Kid is set up to be a rival. Here's the issue. Kid is set up to be a rival, and he gotta be like one of the worst rivals in Shonen.
mhm.
Because he's just not a rival, in the sense of he's supposed to be a rival, but he just it don't never feel like a situation where he's even close to Luffy. Like it feels like the rivalry is all in Kid's head. Like people want to talk about Vegeta, but there was points where Vegeta be
Kind of
stronger than
like
Goku,
Kobe too, to be honest with you.
huh?
Kind of like Kobe too.
I
Character who
agree.
everybody thought was set up to be a
I
Luffy
agree.
rival.
But I agree with the thing is with Kobe's personality, I at least like him in the sense of
Yeah,
as a
I,
person.
I, and
Um,
I never really thought that Kobe was going to be a rival.
yeah, they was already kind of friendly, a bit.
Yeah, they were bros. Um, I mean,
Um,
that doesn't mean I can't see them fighting, but it would be like a friendly fight. It wouldn't be like a, oh, I must take you down kind of
right.
thing. Um,
And what I was saying about Kid is that what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. In the sense of okay, so since Kid has all this set up, you give him a 3 billion berry bounty, you have him be 2v1 against a Yonko, you have him be a quote unquote rival to Luffy, right? With all that set up, you expect Kid to do more.
mhm.
It would be like as if Usopp was honest all the time and then he started lying like he does now. That's how it feels because it would defy expectations. But since we know Usopp lies a lot, we don't have a problem with it because it would be because it was within his character. It doesn't go against his character. So when Usopp lies, it's like funny, or we know the lie is gonna become true because a lot of his lies become true. So if you were to say kids, like if you had somebody in the story and had like a flashback to where Kid was named after his father, who was William Kidd, or something along those lines. Because I was thinking about a backstory for Kid earlier. I think what would be interesting for Kid is if we see a backstory to where his father was named William Kidd, based on the real life pirate who was known as the most unfortunate pirate, or the most unluckiest in like real life, right? And you incorporate his real life. Ugh, I'm tongue twisting. You get what I'm saying, though, right? Basically, like Kid's father would be named William Kidd within One Piece.
Yep.
Okay, and then you have it to be like this kid is like there's people saying that he's cursed to be unlucky, just like his father, and then kid's like, no, I'm not. I'm gonna be a great pirate someday, and then you can make Kid a sympathetic character because it's just he's so tragic because he's trying to break this curse, of him being unlucky just like his dad. I think
But
that's
he's
a
doing it the
way,
wrong way.
huh?
But maybe he's doing it the wrong way.
Yeah, or something like. I feel like that can make Kid actual well written character because if
I
like
mean,
I, huh?
there
Go
still
ahead.
is the potential for that though.
Because he doesn't because the character doesn't specifically need to be strong to be well written either. Like Kid's story can be kind of like Moria's to where it's like he kind of lost all his crew and stuff. Where it's kind of like a tragic story. Like at first, Kid starts off as a jerk ass, and Kid kind of becomes a more tragic or sympathetic character. Like I think within the real life lore of this, you can update Kid's character I don't want to say exponentially, but much more great. You can up his character a lot more.
I doubt Oda's gonna do that. He
But
doesn't usually
but
name characters after historical figures
yes, he
because he wants to
does.
tie it. Uh,
Blackbeard,
Come on, man.
Blackbeard.
Yeah, you know how many differences there are between the historical Blackbeard and the One Piece Blackbeard? A lot.
Yeah.
So I hear you. I'm not trying to take the wind out of your sails here.
The reason I'm saying is because I'm thinking that this is the reason that Oda has made kids so damn sorry. Because yeah, Captain Kidd is stated was the most unfortunate pirate to ever sail the seas, and that's exactly what Kidd is. But the problem is that we don't know if that's what Oda is doing. So we don't know if he's meant to be written this way, then he's a well written character. Um, you know, that's a difference. That's why I brought up Usopp. If he was always honest and all of a sudden he started lying, then be like, what the fuck? Um,
yep.
so that's what I mean. Like Walt is a terrible human being, but he's a well written character because the other characters hate him. So he's supposed to be more unlikable over time. It's not just he's unlikable because he's badly written. He's unlikable because he's intentionally written to be more unlikable over time, and to become worse and worse in person and do worse and worse things. But that's what I mean. That if Kid's story is supposed to be one of he's unlucky, he's a Luffy without plot armor, then he would actually be a well written character. So that's how you can fix Kid, in my opinion.
I mean, there's still time.
Hey, what's up, Michael? I appreciate you coming through earlier. I seen Michael my last stream. And by the way, Teddy, I don't think Teddy watching the stream, but he's in the One Piece VC chat.
Ah,
Who was that? Your cat?
who?
You said ah.
Eh.
What was that?
I didn't hear an eh.
What was that? You said ah.
Oh, I'm gonna say ah. Like
Oh.
ah. Like I hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Someone else joined?
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
Ralph. You remember his name used to be um
I just don't remember having ever chatted with him in the VC. But how's it going?
Yeah, it's going good. It's going good. Not here in a previous server we did a while back. Um, but yeah, how y'all living, man? What's going on?
that server got messed up like Kid Ship. But we doing cool.
only Shanks didn't do it.
Yeah, Dorian Brugge did that, right? That was nasty work, man.
That was. But you gotta agree with them. I mean, he did roll on up to a country and, declare. I don't know if you'd say war, but
He
threaten
came
it.
with hostile intentions. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
So for those two, it was like, you know what? Like you guys were 100% right to do that. You were defending your homeland. I think it would have been maybe it would have been better if he said, "Oh, great, another red-haired evil pirate trying to wreak havoc on us," as if that woman from so many years ago as a child wasn't bad enough.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's
Um,
that'd be interesting.
yeah, and then maybe they start questioning Shanks because he has red hair.
Yeah. Oh no, guys, I just diet.
You know what? Okay, so basically we was talking about I was talking about on the stream, Ralph was like I was saying, what if like Oda does, basically have someone say that Kid's father was William Kidd, and the reason why Kid is unlucky because his father was an unlucky pirate, and Kid is trying to break that curse. I said that would be the only way to really make Kid a well written character. Um, cause it'd be like everything in retrospect be like, wow, Oda actually was in his bag.
Yeah, yeah.
Cause
The
it's
thing
true to
about
the real life
Kid,
lore.
right?
Like he's unlucky, just like the real life lore.
Yeah, yeah. The thing that I don't understand with Kid and why I personally believe that Oda doesn't really care for Kid like that is that out of the big three of the supernova, right? Like Luffy, Kid, and Long, he's the one that he supposedly said he had big plans for. And something that we're learning recently is that no matter what kind of Derafoot ability you have, at the end of the day, Haki is the name of the game, right? If you don't have Haki in any like notable capacity, you're not going to be relevant in the conversation whatsoever. You see
Mm-hmm.
recently the thing that happened with Dark Q and the Blackbeard Pirates, where um, Law literally flexed his Haki to undo a Derafoot ability. That's crazy. So he already displayed pretty amazing um, Haki feats. Kid was we learned through Kaido that he has the capacity for Conqueror's Haki. We have never seen this man in the story at any point in time. We never
Yeah.
seen an ounce of armament or observation, let alone conquerors. So you're going up against somebody who is touted to have maxed out his stats in terms of hacking usage.
Mm-hmm.
And all you have to offer is a puny devil fruit ability that you don't even know how to use properly. My guy,
Yeah, Kid is pretty
he
dumb.
never he never stood a chance, right? And the issue with Kid is that he is so braggadocious, so foolhardy, and he comes in with so much confidence bordering on arrogance, right? He's cocky
He's
as all
definitely
hell.
arrogant.
And he thinks that he's a hot shot. With people like him, nothing short of complete annihilation is required for him to learn his lesson. He
Right.
doesn't learn. You would think that after losing an arm, you would learn. You would think that
Yeah.
after taking an embarrassing L to Kaido, you would learn. But this guy never does. So it's like, what is it going to take for you to finally get it through your skull? And mind you, Luffy is not that much better. If it wasn't for Rayleigh, Luffy would be in a very similar situation to Kid right now. Because he was ready, with their weak asses, he was ready to go back into the new world and get bodied, right? It
Yeah.
was Rayleigh that stopped him and was like, nah, listen, brother, right now, you do not have the facilities to handle the new world. You need to humble yourself, even though, like, I shouldn't even need to tell you this after everything you experienced from Sabaody to Impel down to Marineford. I really shouldn't be needing, you shouldn't be needing me to tell you that you need to be humble right now. But since you need that, I'm going to tell you regardless, you need to humble yourself, learn about Haki, learn about ways to get stronger so that you're in the conversation, right?
Yeah.
Kid didn't get that luxury because Kid is not the MC, right? So he just keeps on running into things. And what's so frustrating about Kid is like you think that he would learn, but he never does. So at some point, it's like, I'm sorry, but you got what you deserved, and better to teach you this lesson than
And
the
two,
God
and
King
two, it's
himself.
not that it's not like Kid's a good person either though. But like, okay, so
Well, we don't.
what?
But
I was
it
gonna say
doesn't
we don't
matter.
really
It doesn't
know.
matter.
We don't really know what kind of person Kid is just because of hearsay. Like Kid could, for all we know, be a the kind of guy who's gone and saved innocent people. We
I
don't
mean, I
know.
mean, I mean, I mean, they say
But but
kill
he but
innocent,
people know that he goes and pillages and rampages
That's
everywhere he
true.
goes.
That's true. Yeah,
and
that's
he
Yeah.
true.
was finna destroy the fleet. I mean, to be fair, he quote unquote cares about his crew, although quote unquote, I say,
Yeah,
because if he cared about his crew so much, he wouldn't keep putting them in these situations. Like Killer
That's true,
told
but
him,
that's the problem is like he doesn't think he's going to lose. He even said so when he went up against like, yeah, that's only if I lose. So from his perspective, he's not putting his crew in any danger because any situation they're in, he genuinely believes that they're going to make it out of there okay.
he's delusional.
Right? He's very delusional. He has no grasp on reality whatsoever, and that's how they end up in those sorry ass situations. And for for um for him right now, I mean, I don't even know if there's uh any future in the story for him
Yeah,
right now. I
he
mean, there
might just
probably
be
is,
dead.
but I just don't
I
really
don't
see
think
it.
so.
He's on life support right now, but he's not dead. Like he's definitely going through it. But and I like how Shanks, he's such an honorable individual. He made sure that kid was in fighting shape before he did what he did. Because
Oda
he's
did
like,
that so power scalers could have been like, kid, wasn't that 100%?
yeah, exactly. And I love that he basically shut down any potential allegations that Shanks was beating up
Yeah.
on a weekend kid. You know, it's like no, he's in great spirits, good health. There's nothing wrong with him. He's like, okay, then that's fine. Then I can show him what's what. You know. But I'm gonna have to dip for a little bit because I have errands to run and everything. But
Okay,
I
man.
appreciate you letting me in for a little bit, man. It's a great conversation.
Yeah,
I'll
I
keep
got
it
you.
going, man.
Catch you later, bro.
Catch you later. You be easy, cat.
All right.
Oh,
Yo, cat.
did I do FaceTime by accident and you
Just mute
just
for
saw
a
my
second. Just mute for a
camera?
second. Hey, Miss Cat, you on stream?
I know. I'm sorry about that.
But yeah,
That was my mom walking by me.
Raph has said peace out to you pretty much. Uh,
But
you
yeah,
hear
sorry
me?
about that.
You hear me?
Hmm?
I said Cat has said his not Cat. What the fuck? Raph has said his bye pretty much to you.
His what?
He said bye to you.
Oh, yeah. Damn. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to miss that. I didn't expect my mom to put
Oh,
herself on
you could just
speaker.
been like Raph
As she,
if you see him, man. I'll catch you later or something. But yeah, I mean yeah, it's fine. Them things happen. What I was finna say. Another way to where besides the whole unlucky thing being a part of his character, another way that I can see Kid being redeemed is if he's actually Shank's son or something. Uh,
oh, that would just make it worse. Like you trounced your own kid. Like, damn.
and that's why he wanted to hold back
And,
against him.
and people say Garb was rough on Luffy. I mean, he didn't like almost try to cut him in half. God, yeah. At that point, I would lose all respect for Shanks. It's like, damn, man. You're like, oh yeah, my son's at full strength. Okay, I can mess him up a bit with my blade. It's like, damn, that'd be awful. Like, but
I mean, the thing is though, his son keeps trying to attack him.
God, I don't know how I'd feel about that reveal. I'll be honest.
What makes Kid look? I mean, Shanks look dark.
I mean,
I mean, I'm just
I
trying
don't
to
know,
think of I'm
man.
just trying to think of ways to redeem Kid, and
I mean,
I'm just saying it because I just feel bad for him more than anything. But
so um,
like besides the unlucky thing being brought in, you know, as a part of his character and backstory, besides him being Shank's son, what else can Kid do? I mean,
well,
maybe he goes through a character arc. No, my crewmates drowned because of me, and he starts becoming a better person. Could be
that's a
possible.
possibility. Have um everybody except Kid and those members that begged for his life stay around, be alive.
Hmm.
Everybody else is dead.
Yeah.
And Kid kind of has to go through something similar to Luffy, where now he's got to assemble a new
Assemble.
crew. And get a new ship built, and I mean, so all right, this is gonna sound crazy, but is it possible for Kid to somehow meet Cross Guild and join up with them?
Oh, that's possible.
I mean, because like that's actually something I hadn't even considered being possible. Um, Now you might argue, all right, well, you know, I was gonna say you might argue why would they want Kid with them, but let's not forget that at one point Crocodile tried to take Whitebeard's head, and he lost a hand, and presumably suffered a pretty humiliating defeat as well. And I could see Crocodile hearing about this. Maybe he already knew a little bit about Kid because he's been keeping up with all of the, famous pirates in the world. And, he says, you know what? Like, I think we should bring him in because he's just like how I used to be. I was rash. I was, rushing into things. I wasn't
Oh,
planning.
you basically saying Shanks bringing Kid to his crew?
No, no, no. Crocodile bringing Kid into the Cross Guild.
I can't see Crocodile doing that, but that could be interesting.
Well, I mean,
I mean, in a sense of what you're talking about, like him
I couldn't,
bringing
I
him in
couldn't have.
just for being nice. I can't
Well,
imagine
dude,
that.
this is the same guy who made freaking Mihawk part of his group.
That's because he's
Now,
strong though.
he was probably also thinking, okay, if I don't let Mihawk in, he's probably going to cut my head off. But at the same time, he wasn't like, oh, Mihawk, no, 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 please, baby, don't kill me. Like, um,
Baby, oh damn, you finna sell out the Mihawk as crocodile shippers.
no, 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 no. You know how sometimes a man might, like a manager might say to like to like the music act they're presenting, they might say like, Jimmy, baby, no, don't do this to me.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, maybe not literally for that reason, but Oda could try to parallel that because both of them did get defeated by somebody who is part of the Yonko. Um, and they lost everything seemingly.
Yeah.
So for Oda to write Kid into somehow finding his way to them and joining their ranks, and then eventually over time, possibly growing into like a sort of, um, I don't want to say apprentice necessarily to Crocodile, but maybe maybe that is a possibility
Oh yeah,
for those.
I don't know if I ever said this. Yeah, that could be a very much possibility. I don't know if I ever said this, but I meant to say this about how Killer when I was saying Killer earlier. I don't know if you heard. I think I might be talking to Ralph, but basically when I was saying earlier that Killer fuck what was it? Oh yeah, Killer basically tried to tell Kid to turn around. I was gonna say I think
Mm-hmm.
Killer is probably even more loyal than Zoro, to be honest, because I can imagine Killer still having this much faith in Luffy. He lost to this much extent, like it's
Oh, you
crazy.
mean Zoro? Like if this was to happen to Luffy?
Yeah, like
I mean,
as much as Kid loses, Killer has to be the most loyal right hand in the series. Like
but
even
here's the
after
thing,
warning
right?
him, what's up?
Like here's the thing though. Like yeah, we might think that, but like Luffy saved Zoro's life, and peace out. Heading out. Sorry, that's my mom was on the phone, and and whatnot. Apologies to the viewers. Don't know what's wrong with my brain today. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying. Like, the thing about Killer is, okay, yeah. So we don't know how they met. That's true. But the reason why I can't necessarily agree with Killer being more loyal than Zoro is because Luffy's had some pretty bad screw ups himself that have potentially put the entire crew in danger many, many times. And I would even count the whole let's drop everything and split the crew in half going to Whole Cake Island to bring Sanji back. And despite his reservations against that, Zoro was like, okay. I mean, I just don't see it. I just don't see Zoro being like, well, he's literally sailing us directly into a nuclear explosion. I'm out.
No, I don't see that. My point is that there's someone who takes as many L's as Kid without any dubs. Someone who takes as many L's as Kid without any dubs.
What's a dub?
Dub, a win.
Oh, okay.
Come on, old head.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, but I would at least say they're as loyal as each other. Now, Killer might have more respect for Kid because we never see them argue with each other. And if we do, it's never to the same extent as Luffy and Zoro.
So can you say this? Killer is probably about as low as Zoro, at least.
Absolutely. I mean, I might even be going. I might even go so far as to say that Kid,
not Kid. I mean
and
Killer. Yeah, Killer. Yeah.
Like Killer. Because now you got me thinking when you said that Killer could potentially be considered more loyal than Zoro or than Zoro to Luffy, and now the wheels are turning in my head, making me think: have we seen evidence of that?
I just think the idea that like Kid loses so much while the amount of dubs that Luffy has, like I just don't. I think Zoro would doubt Luffy a lot more. You could argue maybe there's just more personality, more than loyalty, but like I don't know.
Yeah, that's because I see the point you're making because I've heard people point out that Zoro cares more about the rank of captain than he does the actual captain. Meaning, you notice how a lot of times, whenever he, like in the fight, like during the fight with Kaido, at one point he says, "Hey, don't attack our captain," or "Don't attack my captain," or something like that. It's almost like if Luffy was to somehow not have that position, then Zoro wouldn't give a damn. But with Killer and Kid, it doesn't seem like it's an underling and what's the word I'm searching for? It doesn't seem like it's an underling and
They're like friends, possible lovers.
Yeah.
At this point, like
I don't know about lovers. They're I mean, for all we know, they could be like legit brothers. We haven't seen Killer without it. Wait, we have. Have we seen Killer without a helmet on? We have, haven't we? I'm sorry. Never mind. Like it's possible those two could legit be like biological brothers, and we don't even know it.
I don't think they're biological brothers, but
or that they're at least brothers in the same way that Ace and Luffy was, or that Sabo and Luffy are. The only difference being that, you know, Kid never had the ambition to go out on his own and be the captain of his own ship. Um,
I'll tell you this: whoever Kid marries though would not be as what like it'd be hard for them to be as low as Killer. Like
he'd
seriously,
be the
bro.
man
Like
of a thousand
straight up,
divorces.
straight up. Kid as Killer would be one of the most plausible ships. To be honest, because like
I mean,
this man Killer is like, like he loves this man like legitimately like he stands by Kid no matter what. Like they both wear makeup like.
God.
And
Uh,
by the way, if anybody watching the stream, uh, I'm not insulting the LGBT community. I'm a part of that, so I'm not insulting. I'm just being honest here. Like, bro, what wife or whatever is Kid found as low as Killer? Like, can you imagine like someone who just constantly puts your life in danger? You keep telling them not to do this stuff, and you just still stand by them. Killer deserves better. Killer deserves better
ain't
than
that
Kid.
the truth? Ain't that the truth?
Break up with that bum. Seriously.
It's like, but like, I mean, in all seriousness, if those two were meant to be lovers, you wouldn't hear any complaints here.
I mean,
Because
obviously they're friends because it's shonen, but it's like, I think I thought about it before. They just like I don't know. We gotta see the backstory of them too. Obviously, friends can be that close and that strong and stuff like that, but you know. And I want some backstory. Why is kids? Why did Kid go with the theme he does? Does he like punk rock music? Why does he wear makeup? Just cause? Like, what made him
I
come
don't
with his
know,
theme? He's
maybe
just
they
the edgy
started
kid, huh?
maybe they started off as a music group and then eventually became pirates.
That's possible. Like he's like a gothic. Like he's like I don't know. He's like edgy. Like older made him that edgy kid in school. Oh yeah, Michael. I had noticed I had noticed let me see if I can pull up Michael. Uh I had noticed that Shanks was using I know Shanks was using Roger's attack.
Yep.
I noticed that. So you think I what I just thought this. Do you think all of Rogers' attacks are not all of Rogers? All of Shanks like a lot of his attacks are like inspired off of Roger?
Possibly. Or if heck, why stop at Roger? Who's to say he doesn't have one inspired by Rayleigh?
You inspired by Rayleigh?
Yeah.
I don't know why I went quiet for a sec. I was thinking really hard. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he does. I don't really know what to add to that. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Uh do we think Shanks is stronger than Big Mom and Kyle?
Yes, I do.
I I I have to say it because he probably is. Like honestly, I think Kyle should be stronger because he's known as the world's strongest creature. But in two, it kind of doesn't make any sense why Kyle has never made like a move. Not Kyle, fuck. Shanks has never made a move until now. If he's actually this much stronger than them, but he seems to be really quite a bit stronger than them.
I don't want to say like quite a bit myself. You, for all I know, you could be, that might actually be the case, but I don't want to assume that any of the Yonko, as in the Yonko that we first knew as the Yonko, I don't want to assume that any of them that there was a huge gap between any of them, with the exception of possibly Whitebeard, because I mean, the man was known as somebody kind of tied with Roger. So,
Who
with
was
the
known as
exception
Ty
of
Roger? Say again.
Whitebeard,
Whitebeard.
he was considered to be tied with him.
Yeah, Whitebeard got
Um,
old and he's dead. I'm talking about right. I'm talking about the Yonko that are around right now.
well, yeah, but like, I mean, Blackbeard, we know nothing about his strength. I feel, so he's kind of not part of the equation yet for me. Um,
I think
but just in
Blackbeard
terms,
is. Go ahead. Go ahead.
just in terms of Kaido, Big Mom, and Shanks, like, if Shanks is the strongest,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a huge gap between him and Kaido. I think there is a gap, but I don't see it being like a huge one. Um, Big Mom, however, I mean, she doesn't strike me as the type to be getting up and, you know, fending off intruders
I think the
that
thing with
often.
the thing with Big Mom is that she has versatility,
Yeah,
and I do think Kaido and Big Mom are still more durable than Shanks. Uh, it's just a
that makes
situation to
sense.
where someone new joined.
Hello, man.
What's
How
up?
are you?
Doing good. A
Finally.
new person joined the server. He was in the chat. What I was saying. What was I saying? Oh yeah. I do think Shanks and Big Mom are more durable.
Shanks
Um,
and Big Mom.
yeah, not what the fuck. Big Kaido and Big Mom are more durable than Shanks. I definitely think they are.
Yeah, I agree. I
Shanks.
think I also think that they're physically stronger than Shanks, because for Shanks, in my opinion, to use an attack on the same level as them, he has to actually always use hockey for that purpose. Not
Hmm.
necessarily for Big Mama Kaido,
I
because
can
they're
see.
freaking huge.
I can see that point. I would think he might have been physically stronger because of the fact that he one shot a kid and Kyle on the roof didn't one shot kid.
Yeah, but it's Kaido. Kaido likes to enjoy his fights. He plays with his food, basically.
That's very true. I mean, that's very true. I mean, like he was trying to
And,
kill kid. Kid would have been dead probably.
mhm.
Um,
He would have
For
been killed.
me,
He would. I was going to make a joke about his second in command being named Killer, but nah.
hmm,
go ahead, Michael.
for me, sorry, yeah. For me, I think Kaido's just testing them how strong they are because he's finding a worthy fight.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Because
do. Go ahead.
remember he's bored.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And what you're saying is like it's like Big Mom and Kaido are using the same thing. Like Big Mom is using her iron balloon, and Kaido's using the same thing as she is doing because they're using advanced coating. Also, Shanks can do that.
I don't think they're using advanced coding. I think their bodies are just naturally more durable than Shanks. It's kind of like a situation to where if I were to say Sanji and Zoro, Zoro still, I believe, definitely has more endurance than Sanji, but Sanji can tank attacks because of how his body is a lot more. Like Shanks
Yeah,
he probably has like crazy endurance, like similar to Zoro, but he's not sitting there and like breaking a blade off his chest without like arming and hockey. You know,
Yeah. Unless he's using hockey, he's not doing that.
yeah, like even the Pirate King got low death by negative, in fact, by swords. Um,
Oh, right, because of how he was executed.
Yeah. I mean, I think the older one was kind of weird. How he got low death by a bullet. I feel like, it shouldn't be that easy, but
I mean, he was being boiled alive.
sure. But it's just kind of funny how like bullets and swords from like normal people can still hurt them, but they can like survive attacks that like destroy a mountain.
That's true. That is true.
Maybe them
Based
were
on
special blades, like the ancient weapon blades that killed the Pyro King. But yeah, but yeah,
Maybe there were blades forged in the blood of Lunarians, and then I don't know,
and
we
or they
maybe
came
still
from
need
or the blades came from Emu personally.
who knows?
we still need more info how black blades are made.
Yes, we do.
That's true.
And
Those look like normal blades that we saw that killed the Pyro King.
what's
Cause
crazy is I kind of came up with a sort of theory about how black blades could be made, and it was a little bit gruesome. Um, the idea was, what if black blades are coated in the blood, or become black over time, because enough blood coats them, staining the blade permanently, and it becomes black, just like how in real life, when blood dries, it turns black.
maybe.
We will see.
Like the
Because
blades get
for me,
in the blood of their victims.
because for me, to require black blade, you need to have advanced conqueror Saki.
I agree.
You see how Zoro's blade is smoking with green, and its advanced conqueror's lightning. It's like it's forging into one.
Yeah. I mean,
That is very
do
good.
you think Shanks has a black blade?
We don't know.
Probably not,
I mean,
unless
okay. So say you say gonna say first cat, and I was gonna ask like a power scaling question after that.
unless unless the black lady has, like, for him to have a black blade would mean that the sword he used on Kid wasn't his strongest sword,
Uh,
What do you mean by that?
because the sword he used on Kid clearly wasn't a black blade.
But what grade is Griffin is? What blade is he?
I would have to assume it's at least the same grade as Whitebeard's weapon.
Roger's blade, Ace.
Yeah, and whatever the heck, what was Whitebeard's called again?
I don't know.
Uh,
That was like a batosai or whatever you call it.
I know it's not a sword, but the blade itself, I believe, was confirmed to be of the highest grade.
Supreme grade.
Yeah, so it's not a sword, but the blade itself is like comparable to that.
The reason why I asked that because I'm asking, do you think Kid is a this is maybe a loaded question thing on the spot. Do you think Kid is like a top 30 strongest character?
Yes.
Okay, Cat, what you think? Are you thinking?
I'd say he has to have at least been top 20,
Okay,
25.
so who else is getting one shotted by Shanks?
Uh,
You laugh
pretty much
because it's kind of
pretty
like
much
it's a good
every
point.
pretty much every vice admiral, with some exceptions, of course, like Garp, obviously. Um, every supernova, not counting. Well, like, I want to say probably not counting Luffy and Law, but who knows? I mean, even if one of those two were using Hockey to defend themselves. It's possible they could have at least sustained a significant amount of damage
So
before, passing out.
so at the very least, if Kid is a top 30, he has to be like the lowest top 30, probably.
Well, for me, I think Kid is around top 20, 27.
I mean, and it's
I
hard to
think
do. It
because
might.
because of his double fruit. His double fruit has potential.
That's true. I mean,
Yep.
I mean, I know it's hard to do it. One day I might do a top 30 stream again. But I know that's hard to think of at the spot. But you did a good
But
job
he's
of.
weak on hockey. He doesn't have any advanced forms of hockey.
I agree. I mean, he
He
has
only has
conquerors, but he doesn't
basic.
use it. He has
You
conquerors,
remember
he
what
just
he
doesn't use
said? You remember what he said when he got shocked? Oh, really? Hockey can hurt Kaido?
it. Yeah, that was pretty
Wait, who
stupid.
said that?
On the
Wait,
rooftop.
Kid
On
said
the
that?
rooftop?
Yeah, he said it
Yeah,
Oh,
on the rooftop.
wow.
kid said
Oh,
that. Remember
wow. I
when
forgot about that.
Luffy used Red Rock? He said, "Oh, I didn't know that hockey can hurt him."
Oh, my God.
Yeah, kids
Wow.
stocks have been low for a minute, but I just haven't realized until now. Just how
If
low.
he has a lot of training, like example 2 years, possibly he could be one of the top 15.
Mm.
By that, I mean, yeah, that's true. Like, I wasn't actually laughing at something I thought was funny. It reminds me of a conversation I had with somebody a long time ago
Shanks has
where
one-tapped Kid in the recent.
we were talking about the possibility of what if there was a 20-year time skip where we see everybody, like Luffy, for example, and his like he'd be 29 at that point. No, I'm sorry, he'd be 39. I'm sorry. They'd all be in their late 30s to early 40s. And I think the reason we talked about that was because me and this person had gotten it into our heads that Luffy was going to get trounced by Blackbeard when they finally fight and then have to train for a decade before he could take him on again.
We
don't think
don't
he's getting
need
trounced.
another time skip training again because
no,
we're
I
at the
agree.
final saga.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't see Luffy getting pronounced. But
I
I do see where you was coming from that, to where I thought that like they was probably gonna have to get more than one time skip, or I at least thought the Straw Hats would be older by the time they're finna become the world's strongest. But apparently, but it's a shonen, so I should have expected that they were gonna be young and become the strongest around. What I do need is training. What I do need training for is the other Straw Hats outside the Monster Trio who are
oh yeah.
severely lacking. Like
Usopp needs power up, Chopper, Nami. No, Nami already has her own.
yeah, she
For
has
starters,
Zeus.
for starters, Usopp needs to freaking learn about a power he's had for a while now
Oh
that
yeah.
nobody's ever said, "Hey man, I noticed you have this. Let me show you how to use it."
Yo, you know what? It'd been great if he had dodged what's her name? S Boa? S Snake. S Snake. It would have been great if he had dodged her beam because he's like, I've been training my observation hockey.
Yeah, this man is confirmed to have at least an awakened I almost said conquerors. Well, observation,
he is going to conquer too, but we'll talk about that later.
and yet, not a single one of the Straw Hats has said, "Oh, I noticed Usopp has observation hockey right now. Maybe one of us should show him the ropes." Like, come on, man.
It's like Usopp has
Really?
completely forgotten about that situation.
For me, Usopp must learn from his dad.
I like that that idea.
Yeah, that
Family
makes more
bonding.
Sense. Like, son, your test is to use all your hate that you have towards me and shoot me
for being a
with
bum.
with one of those pop greens or whatever ammo he's using.
Or or maybe he'll get a new weapon from Elbaf.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I don't know. What I thought would be cool is
Thor's hammer.
give. Yeah, ooh.
That'd be dope.
Oh, I'd love.
What if
Oh,
he could
I'd
shoot?
love
What
that.
if he could shoot Dora's hammer?
Oh, he can throw it, dude. He can throw it and fly with it.
Yeah, but I
He
mean, like
can throw
that's
it.
not Usopp. He's supposed to still be a sniper.
No, but he could kind of like be like, he could be flying in, and you could hear like a voice in the distance and be like, "What the hell is that? Who's talking right now? Holy!" shit." And then he comes in and slams the flying hammer right into you.
Oh, you know, it'd be dope. What if once he gets Dora's hammer, he starts flying around, and then like in the anime, they play the Soul King song. He didn't do that tonight. Sniper Island finds his way. Um.
So who
But
will be Usopp fighting?
I had him fighting Yasop. That's why I was like, Usopp has to get stronger. But the idea of him training with Yasop instead is kind of like to where that could be fixed. What I was finna say
More,
though.
it could
Oh
be
wait,
it
wait,
could
wait.
be a serious Davy back fight between the Straw Hats and the Red Hair Pirates.
Seriously, back fight.
Or like a more serious thing. Like instead of just, hey, we're gonna play some games here. It's like,
It'll be serious. It's a test for
Fight for the
them.
One Piece.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's not to say there couldn't be little like challenges. Like, all right, I know this is my headcanon talking, but like, bear with me for a second here. If Lucky
Mhm.
Roo was to be revealed as the red hair pirate's chef, you could have him go up against Sanji first in a cooking competition, and then they have a fight after it.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that. That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
A thing I'll say though first before we, because that's a really interesting idea. I do want to talk about the Davy back fight, but then I'll say first about the Dora's hammer things. That I could see Usopp flying around with it, but he shoots Dora's hammer with like his slingshot.
Oh God, man! Ooh, man,
Okay.
what if it's not
Okay.
Thor's hammer? What if it's a hammer that can change its size? So you know how he had like that 10-ton hammer?
Mm-hmm.
What if this
Ah.
hammer can go from, I don't know, whatever size a regular sized hammer would be considered, but it could grow to like 1,000 tons because of whatever material was used to make it. And so it just enlarges and hits you with the 1,000-ton like hammer or whatever. But then it can shrink back down to the normal size.
That'd be really cool. I
Hmm.
mean, we got,
That's a good idea.
but the thing is, the only thing I'll ask about that is if how is Usopp, gonna lift that thing?
Magic.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It'd be a magic hammer.
Okay.
It'd be
Maybe at
like,
first, he's not worthy of the hammer. Then suddenly,
mhm.
bring the brave word, the seating, the speech. Then Thor's hammer will just go to him.
Yeah.
That would be dope. That would actually be dope. I I don't know what I was gonna say. I was thinking like, this would probably be left field, but what if like he can talk to like spirits or something with a hammer? He like talks to the Mary or something. I don't know. I'm just talking out my ass. But anything is impossible in One Piece. Uh, anything is possible. Y'all heard what I said?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, heck, I'm the guy that theorized Usopp having an attack where he forms an entire forest out of pop greens, and thanks to his observation hockey, he can hear what the plants are saying to him. If they're warning him about where his target is or something to that effect. So what you said is, nowhere near as insane as what I suggested.
yeah.
Hmm.
I I was trying to think of how that would work. Like, okay, so maybe you can see through the plants or something. Or you saying like the
No, he
plants
can.
are talking like people?
Well, you know how they say
Like,
that
hey,
plants
Usopp.
actually can communicate? Like he could hear like the whispers of the plants because they're pop greens.
So,
Hmm.
so that's his observation. He can talk to them.
Well, he could like listen to the plants, like not necessarily talking, but like I don't know if the trees were to shake a certain way, and that was their
Because
way of
remember,
saying,
because remember, after that, after Yasop, his next opponent will be Van Auger, the guy who always teleports.
No.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
my idea would have been that they fight in, like, you know, maybe Usopp's having a bit of difficulty, and he's like, all right, I need a change of scenery here. Let's create an entire forest for us both to get lost in. But I could maybe have an advantage because the plants are grown from my pop greens. And like they can communicate with me somehow.
Mm. That's pretty interesting. That could really, really work. I thought of just something too. Um, you know, about Doris Hammer thing is that what if like cause like I said, what if he like shoots Doris Hammer like like basically uses it as ammo like for his slingshot. What if instead like he has to like aim the lightning or something because he's a sniper. I don't know.
He
Like in the
could
sense
curve it.
of I don't know exactly he could curve it, but in the sense of like it's already powerful, but like Usopp can like like he's like one of the best wielders of it because his accuracy is so amazing. Like in the sense of
That'd be
like
cool.
kind of like like he's like swirling around kind of like Dora, and he's like hitting the targets because he's a sniper. You know, I mean, I do think it's an interesting idea of him getting Dora's hammer because of the fact that he probably does need a close range weapon since he's not much of a physical fighter, despite Oda making him rocked up for whatever reason post time skip for no reason.
Right.
Seriously, this dude is like I mean, not saying that everyone with muscles is like inherently a boxer, but I expected Usopp to not be as physically weak as he was pre time skip, but it is what it is. You know, yeah, that could really help him in the sense of close range, like like someone breaks his sniper his sniper tool in half and he pulls out Dora's hammer. Uh, that'd be dope.
I mean, Oda could do something as crazy as say, "Oh, I'm not going to give him a hammer. I'm going to give him a new slingshot that can turn into a hammer and also be Thor's
Oh,
hammer."
I was gonna say that too. Like, what if it could change? When you said what if it could change size, I was gonna ask you. Don't you mean change shape?
Yeah, that would actually be better if it could change shape.
He switches between hammer and slingshot.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
would be dope. That would be dope. What if it like makes his like once he uses it as a slingshot, right? Like he shoots ammo and it's just like super fast and stronger.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Oh, Lippy is here in VC in One Piece VC talk. Oh my god, I didn't know that about Captain Kid. Wait, I thought she didn't read One Piece. Well, I'm
She
assuming
doesn't.
it's a she. Oh, it is a she. Okay.
To my knowledge, she doesn't.
Oh,
Um,
well, she's saying in One Piece VC talk. I didn't know that about Captain Kid.
I assume. I mean, she hears me talk about it, but I assume she's got friends
Oh, and Persona, we getting Persona 5 lore.
who follow One Piece. So that's probably what it is.
You should get into One Piece.
We watched was it the first 2 episodes? And I think we did talk about getting back to it at one point after we finished Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
Which we're almost done. Um, I mean, it would take us like years to get through One Piece, but I mean, by the time we would get through it, it would definitely have been ended.
I mean, it depends on how
That's,
much time you have. If it would take, I don't know. Is she into? She's into manga though, right?
yeah,
I mean, she could read a lot of the manga for One Piece. You know,
that's true. Oh my god, yeah, you just gave me a great idea.
that's why I kind of recommend for people, and then they want to go back later on in the future, they can watch the anime or certain scenes or whatever. Because I mean, yeah, it would take years to get through the anime of One Piece, so that's what I would suggest for that.
That's true, yeah. Plus all the filler, which there's nothing wrong with the filler, but if you just want to get the story, you could skip the filler and then go back to it.
I mean, who watches One Piece filler though? I think more people
I
watch
mean,
Naruto filler than One
I
Piece
skipped
filler.
the filler.
One Piece don't really have
personally,
filler in general though.
that's true.
Like to that extent.
When it does, I personally have always considered the filler that is in One Piece to be better than the filler in Naruto because I just find the storytelling to be better. Like
You know,
wasn't
go ahead.
what was it? Was G5 the arc that had Sanji teaching this kid how to make curry?
Uh, I'm not exactly sure, but G5 had a lot of great. G5 had a good cooking part with Sanji in it,
Oh yeah,
or it was either called G5 or G8 or one of them. But I
it
love
was
that
G8.
arc.
It was yeah.
Yeah,
Wait a minute, no, it wasn't.
For
I
me,
mean,
the One Piece filler episodes is just an promotion for the movie.
True.
oh yeah,
A lot of times that's the
they
case
did
too.
have that where they had a Shanks filler in the middle of WoW. But did you ever see
And
G5?
also Film Gold and Film Z and Stampede.
I still haven't watched those.
Did you ever see the I'm trying to see what it was. The G5 arc.
If you're talking to me, no.
I'm talking to kind of both. I was talking to him. No, it's called G8. It was the G8 arc. The arc was
Okay, Jay.
fire. That was an amazing arc. I didn't even know it was filler. Uh, at the time.
But I still haven't continued watching Code Geass.
Yeah, we could watch G8. Um,
I might
and
just have to restart Code Geass again.
oh my goodness, I guess you just don't like it at this point, to be honest.
No, it's
It
not
is what
that,
it
man.
is.
It's
Code
like
Geass.
Cause you completed the boys in like a few days.
that's true.
I
Like it
already
is what it
watched that
is.
with my cousins.
Huh?
I already watched Code Geass with my cousins.
Okay, that's cool. But what else I gonna say? Oh yeah. I probably I think we talked about just about everything. Even before the stream started, we was talking about stuff. I was arguing kid over. I mean not kid. Sanji over kid. Earlier we talked about Shanks and where his power can be. Um, honestly, I don't see Zoro or Sanji getting one shot that easily. Um, at the very least, I think Zoro would tank it a bit, and Sanji would be able to dodge it a little bit better. That's just me though. What else? Talk about just about everything. You can talk about things not in the chapter, which was great to do too. You know what I'm saying? Have a free flowing conversation. The only thing to talk about in the chapter,
Blackbeard
which
coming.
is, huh?
Blackbeard coming to Egghead Island.
Oh yeah, did we
Well, one
talk
of
about that?
nope.
I think we did earlier. We just didn't talk about it on stream.
Oh yeah, you might be right.
We was talking about Blackbeard and we was talking about Law's potential and like we talked about that earlier. Well, we kind of did in a sense of like we were saying that basically I was saying that you know um Law doesn't really have anything else to do in the story to that extent, so maybe Blackbeard has his fruit. Um, so we kind of
Which
talked
would be
about that.
We
terrifying.
don't know yet. We have
Which
to
would
wait.
be terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, also,
Absolutely terrible.
I mean,
Sorry.
also,
We have to wait for the confirmation if Law got defeated.
he
Freaking
did.
freaking Blackbeard. God, sorry.
I love
Or
Law,
it
but
could be
I love
one of his
Law.
commanders, not Blackbeard himself.
Blackbeard.
I love Law, but it'd be coping to say that Law didn't get defeated.
Oh, he got defeated. I just don't think he's dead. Personally.
I
But
mean, he probably isn't. I'm just saying that it's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, it would
yeah, but
kind of suck. It would kind
by
of
that
suck.
logic, it's not. But dude, by that same logic, it's not out of the realm of possibility for Kobe to be dead.
Kobe's not dead.
But by your same logic,
But
if Law can be dead, so can Kobe.
anybody can be dead, but Oda doesn't kill people. But my more general point
Oda
is
does
that,
not
like,
kill people who are his fans' favorite.
he doesn't.
Yeah, people would be more angry about Law
I
dying
mean,
than Kobe.
I mean, here's the thing. No, Kobe's not more likely to die than Law because Kobe still has story to do. You know.
Right. Despite the fact that he barely has any story.
Yeah, but that's the kind of point. If Kobe was like done with his story, it'd be more
Kobe
likely for
is
him to
the
die.
next Garp.
Huh?
Kobe's the next Garp of that generation.
Yeah,
Kill
I
the
know.
Eh,
Garp.
No, he is. He spits it up
eh.
that way. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I mean, Smoker's not. Smoker's irrelevant now. Oh, I forgot about him. What I was gonna say.
Forgot about a lot of people.
What I was gonna say. Um, yeah. I mean, Kobe still has story to do, so that's the difference. You know, it's not about. I mean, it shouldn't be just about popularity. You know, because that's how you can overstay a character's welcome. Not to say if Law survives the series, he overstays his welcome. I'm just saying that you kind of need to know when to kill off characters. You know,
Yeah.
like Oda's been afraid to kill off robots. Like the robots have survived. Uh,
Yeah.
like
That,
shaky or whatever his name is getting shot in the head did not like shook me a bit because I'm like he's probably gonna come back. Like like freaking Pale survived a giant nuke. Like
yeah.
like like he is the most durable in the verse. Like 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 Pale is not getting one shot by Shanks from what we've seen apparently. Um, it's like seriously, dude. Like Oda just does not like. I don't know what it is. He just
I'm imagining that now. Pell swoops in is like, oh, Eustace Kid. Shanks is like, another intruder. Attacks, and Pell just takes, and he's like, huh. So that was the strength of Shanks, huh? All right, I'm out of here.
he just.
You just quit.
He just flies away.
Hey, what's up, Jay? Hey, that must be somebody new. Hey, I didn't see you earlier. My bad. I don't think he's in stream no more. Um, yeah, he just quits. What I was gonna say, kind of like Zoe did, where Zoe just pulled up and just left.
Oh, the big freaking elephant.
Yeah, remember
Zunisha?
Zoe? Remember he pulled up for Joy Boy? He's like, man, this is a good
Yeah,
fight. All right,
Zunisha.
I'm gone. He just showed.
It's like, woo, 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 he's Zoidberged out of there.
That's literally what happened. Like he just pulled up and just dipped. Like that Zoe was gonna do
Zunisha
something.
just left because Momonosuke doesn't need her anymore.
Oh,
Alright, I'm gonna tell you when I'm gonna need you.
oh wait, Zunisha's female? Sorry.
Yeah.
Zunisha. I mean, that
I
sounds kind
forgot
of a female
Zunisha's
name.
female. That's
Zunisha.
true. It's just like it's hard to tell whether certain animals are female or not.
They all look the same. Wow,
Exactly.
that was racist.
No,
I mean it's
no,
true
that's
though.
not
They really
racist.
do
Dude, we're
all look the
talking about
same.
animals.
No, they all look. I know. I'm joking. I'm joking. They all do look the same for real though. Most of the time, you only know the difference. Like if you have your own like dog, you know the difference with your dog from another dog. But you know,
Yeah, like I know my cat's female, but other people don't necessarily know that. They might be like, "Oh, he's a cute cat." I'll be like, she."
I mean,
Which
not only just that. I'm saying like you know, like you wouldn't really get mixed up with your pet at at a, you left them at the vet or something, or
true.
or groomers because you know how they are, like their personality and stuff. You would know them. long enough. So yeah. Um, so the only thing we could talk about left is something that's kind of, I would ask, would you argue is filler?
Oh,
Because like, um, why did we really need the flashback to see how she did all that? I didn't have a problem with it. That little scene where Air Snake did the thumbs up was cute. Um, that was cute.
I, I, I flat out don't care about York.
Oh, okay. I mean, York is an interesting twist villain because of the whole greed thing, and she was the one that least suspected. But
Her desire to become the celestial dragon
yeah,
or something more.
yeah,
I, oh yeah, that's right. I didn't say. I mean, I know we talked about it before the stream, but we didn't actually say anything about. We didn't say much about the Blackbeard ship. I don't think that's actually Blackbeard himself. I think that's one of his captains.
His 10th member.
Could be Shiryu, or could be his 10th. Hoping it's his 10th because it'd be nice to finally see who the 10th captain is. I know there's people that think it's Kuzan, but I feel like if it was Kuzan, we would have gotten that, little title saying, Kuzan, the 10th captain of, or the 10th Titanic captain, and we didn't. So, I don't know.
Or it could be Aruj.
oh yeah, Alkaji. Oh yeah, yeah. I
God,
got.
dog.
Oh yeah. I get what you're saying. Now, yeah, we didn't specifically talk about who could be on the ship. We just talked about if he has lost fruit or not. You're right.
Dude, if the 10th captain is a Rouge, like you suggested, damn.
What? He's gonna get washed?
He suggested that Rouge is the 10th Titanic captain, and I'm just like, damn. I honestly, at that point, Straw Hats, you better run the hell out of there. Rouge is coming.
Really? A Rouge?
I don't know. There's something kind of terrifying about him, like
That'd be
that kind
Joe.
of creepy smile he's got. I mean,
Get that bum out of here. Okay, he's not a bum. I'm kidding. But I
I
mean,
mean, he was the only supernova that took down a freaking pacifista single-handedly 3 times. Skip.
oh, I just was finna bring up Snack. I was about to say that was a long time ago when we hyped that up. Snack isn't nothing anymore.
Well, now he's nothing.
I mean, back when that first happened, people was like, "Oh shoot, a Rouge top 50 and all this and that."
I like
Don't know
Rouge. I just wish the
because you
man would
don't
show
know
the hell up
anything
already.
about Aruj at
Is
that
it what,
time.
Michael?
Oh man, Aruj beat the commander. Oh, so weird, man. He got defeated by Cracker. Oh no, Cracker's so dangerous.
Yeah, that cracker almost kicked Luffy's ass.
Yeah, but he's not that durable.
That's true.
I still got Cracker over Dofi. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
because of
agree.
his biscuit army.
yeah, they was like taking Gear 4 back at the time. It's so crazy to think how much a power creep has like overtaken a lot of them characters. Like Cracker's getting destroyed by like a bunch of characters right now. Who
It's like Luffy just like doesn't even need to punch Cracker now. He just slaps him and sends him flying.
yeah.
Bring in the whole if you've played Smash Brothers before, when they get knocked off the screen and they do that little boom thing.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Put
about.
that in there for Cracker. It's like game.
Like right now, Gear 2 is way too much for Cracker.
Luffy doesn't need Gear 2. He
That's what I'm saying.
nah,
I
man.
just said that'd be way too much for Cracker.
Like Luffy.
Did you not hear what I said?
Yeah, I heard you said. If he goes Gear 2, Cracker's like done in an instant.
Yeah.
Like at that point, Luffy just speed blitzes him, and the next thing you know, Cracker is like flying in space because he's been hit so hard.
Cracker might die.
Yeah, you're right. Actually,
because Luffy was flashing with Kaido in base form with like Rio
and Conquerors, like he was trading blows with him for a while there.
Yeah, like Like it's crazy to think about just how much Luffy's a Yonko. Like
Even if he's the weakest, he's still an emperor.
I don't think he's the weakest, but
Oh well, I mean, I guess Big Mom would technically be the weakest, or Blackbeard.
yeah. Honestly, I mean, like, if he didn't have a time limit, I think he's probably the strongest emperor.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, I forgot about Buggy being confirmed an emperor. So yeah, obviously
Buggy's the
Luffy's
strongest.
stronger than
Buggy's the
Buggy.
strongest, man. Buggy's the strongest. What are you talking
Ah,
about?
come on, man. No, Usopp's the strongest. He's the secret fifth emperor.
Oh yeah, that's right. Right. God Usopp. My bad. Disrespectful. Our Lord
Come
Savior.
on, man.
Um, but I was just thinking about that invincible meme of I put up on stream where he's talking. I thought you were stronger. Like, he actually kills Cracker. Like he flicks Cracker with his finger in Gear Second. And he just dies. Just explodes. So he just explodes. He just explodes.
Luffy
He
would
just
go.
explodes like how the the boys characters be doing people.
Yeah, I was gonna say if One Piece wasn't a shonen, like if it was the seinen demographic, Oda could actually have a scene of Gear Second Luffy hitting Cracker and he just explodes.
Yeah, like especially he
Um,
was real, he would legitimately just die.
or Luffy would just go Gear Fifth and have
Oh my
Cracker just
god,
die by looking at him. He would just die by looking at him.
he would turn to Adams if he gets
Yeah,
killed by Gear
exactly.
Fifth. Uh,
Luffy
unless it's
turns him into
Hockey
a literal
Bloom,
pretzel.
whatever. Unless it's
He
Hockey
turns him
Bloom,
into an
whatever.
actual pretzel.
Yeah.
Luffy will just turn him into a clay. That's it.
He takes his sword named Pretzel and turns it into a pretzel.
Yo, I
Pretzel.
just remembered. That's crazy. Luffy can create objects. Like,
Yeah, I'll be honest. That's the one thing I'm still like. Come on, really pulling things out of his hair? Like, what is he gonna do? Pull like a chainsaw out of his head next?
that you gonna say out his ass.
It's his imagination. That's
I,
his thing.
but does it need to come from his hair?
What's wrong with his hair?
Don't.
He
It's
dissing
like
my boy hair? Dang, that's crazy.
if he pulled a strand of hair out and then shaped it into something. Okay, cool. But just pulling it out like his hair is just. Mm.
Even
Is
hair
a hammer
anymore.
space? Is hammer space hair? That's what you call it in Toon Force.
And the
Hammer
fact that
space.
the glasses weren't even. It's not like he shot a laser beam through his glasses. He just put them on just because.
Yeah, just to show a hint of what you could do.
It's it's his imagination.
Yeah, well, it's a little too much of an imagination for an
That's why I say
awakening.
he's top one. If he can have no drawback, if he has no drawbacks for it.
If he could last in Gear Fifth for like a full day, he's easily top one.
Yeah.
What about Emo? It's not top one.
Emu's got a verse, probably.
He's gonna have to have something completely disgustingly ridiculous to be able to stand up to Gear 5's wackiness.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, Gear
That's
5 can
something.
still get hurt by things. Like,
True.
Kaido was hurting him a bit. Kind of, not really.
Like Umu would have to have like the Toon no me. Like flat out.
Emu claps his hands. He or she probably Luffy's mom.
Emu claps her hands and causes everybody to start dancing spontaneously.
Yeah, or like she takes away Luffy's Gear 5 and he goes down to Gear 4. Like every time she claps her hands, like he loses like one of his gears for like an hour or something.
Damn.
And she could just do that to get the Del fruits. Like she could take away a part of them for like an hour when she claps her hands or something.
I can
I'm
imagine
halfway
that.
joking, but I'm also halfway serious.
Dude, Oda would do that too. You know he'd do something that crazy.
Yeah.
Just starts like clapping his hands and tapping the ground with his foot. And it's like, what are you up to? What are you dancing? Next thing you know, all the Delphi users are like, we feel so weak.
Yeah. But to
Or
finish,
Emo might have the sea fruit.
Oh wow.
I was thinking it'd be crazy if Emu was literally like the sea itself, but like as a sentient being.
Or Emu's an alien.
Probably. I
Oh,
mean,
I hope not.
especially the dragons. Then they come from space, and I just remember Enel's still on the moon. What is he doing?
Who knows?
I saw
Providing
I saw
providing
I
electric.
saw a theory that Luffy's dream, his secret second dream, is to go to space,
Uh,
which I think is a
see
pretty
that.
interesting one. I think that
I mean,
makes
it would
sense,
certainly. I mean, if you told people your dream was to go to space, it would certainly make people think you were crazy.
and that's why everybody looked at him crazy.
Hmm.
Because it was just something to feed everybody, that wouldn't be as uh
What if Luffy's dream was to be king of the galaxy?
oh wow. I mean, hey, that's why everybody laughed, and that's why his dream, that dream's gonna be even harder than becoming Pirate King because it seems impossible. You know, like Luffy's like, I'm gonna go to space, and everybody, that's why everyone was laughing. That makes sense to me. Uh, but to finish off this stream, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to guess who I think is on Blackbeard's ship, and then after that, I'm gonna play a clip, a pretty humorous clip, uh, that we don't have to watch, but I'll just play it on stream, and then I'll end it off. Um, so who I think is on Blackbeard's ship, I was just like, it's definitely Blackbeard, but it is possible that it's someone else. Showing up the egghead, uh, because I don't know where my mind was at when I seen it. I didn't know that was an egghead. I was just thinking it was over there where Shanks was at. um, but since it's over there at Egghead, it probably is Alkaji because we already have a bunch of other admirals showing up, so it would make sense to have a whole, you know, admiral, I almost said orgy, admiral party, just all the admirals in one area. That would make a lot of sense.
Also, the fact that um,
Admiral
we got
Cluster.
we got some information on the O'Hara situation, and he was obviously present for that.
Yeah, yeah. It's very possible it's Alkaji because of all the admirals showing up. It just makes us have a whole admiral. Uh,
And
Neanderthals. Uh, yeah, an admiral cluster, if you will. It would make a lot of sense. So that's my best guess. What's your best guess?
I think it's either. Well, I don't think it is Blackbeard because unless, like, would he have really had time to fully recuperate from that fight with Law? And two, why would he himself want to go to Egghead? I mean, don't get me wrong, it'd be cool, I guess, to see Luffy and Blackbeard have a first fight where Luffy gets beaten by Blackbeard somehow, and then like that eventually leads up to their final confrontation. But I can't see Blackbeard just being like, okay, I'm gonna go on to Egghead now myself.
Yeah.
So I think if it's not Aokiji, it's Shiryu or Lafitte.
Yeah. Shiryu defeat.
Or
Um,
whoever the 10th is.
I was gonna ask how would you feel if it was a feat?
Who, the 10th?
No, I'm talking about the person shows with Egghead.
I'd be fine with that.
Okay. I don't know why I just think you. I don't know why I just thought you wouldn't like the feat for some reason. Um,
I mean, I've always thought he was very interesting. He's so mysterious. He's not an incompetent buffoon like Burgess is. Um, he always seems to have his head on his shoulders. Um, he definitely, to me, presents this aura of intelligence. Um, so I feel like he's arguably the most trusted member of the crew.
Yeah, that's very true. That's what it seems. And yeah, so we talked about everything. Great stream. I'm gonna play this one clip, and then we'll get up out of here. So yeah, that's my best guesses too. Lafitte or Alkaji. Y'all can put in the comments below who y'all think, and I'm gonna play this clip because the clip is pretty funny. It's pretty funny. To the window, to the wall. I don't know why I just thought of that song.
In the recent One Piece chapter, and I know you're a big red hair Shanks. Now that I have you captured Nine Tails, it's time to tell you the truth. Shanks has one tapped kid in the recent One Piece chapter, and I know you're a big red hair Shanks fan, likely on account of your Uzumaki genes. You might ask why I have you restrained to give you this information. It's because, unfortunately for you, Shanks defeated Kid with a flying slash. In other words, a sword technique. And like me and the rest of the Akatsuki have been telling you,
Sorry.
this is simply more evidence that he is a swordsman. Which of course means he is Mihawk's inferior.
Shanks is a hockey man.
A hockey man? You mean a fighter who relies
Did you
on
end
hockey?
the clip yet?
Like everyone else in the
Yo,
new
You
world?
can't hear it?
No, I can't hear anything.
Oh, okay. Well, I was sharing screen. Well, the people in the stream can hear it at least. On this side. I'll just see if I can watch it with you after this.
Well, it's different with Shanks. He's a hockey specialist.
There is no such thing as a fucking hockey man. That is just a cope by people with agendas. But with my Rinnegan, I can see past agendas, and the only eye superior to a Rinnegan is a Hawkeye.
Well, Shanks is Luffy's end goal. It makes no sense for him to be weaker than Zoro's end goal. That's basic narrative.
No, Shanks is not Luffy's end goal. Luffy's goal is the Pirate King. Shanks is simply a stepping stone, a competitor. Both Zoro and Luffy will be stronger than Mihawk at the end of the series, so I don't know why you seem to think this is a good argument. Anything else? Do you think Shanks might pull out a Haki Susano? Maybe a Haki domain expansion?
I have nothing to say to you.
I doubt it.
Damn.
Now that I have you captured...
Honestly, I still have Shanks over Mihawk, but that clip is funny, and it does have some good arguments. But yeah, I'm finna play, this so we can get up out of here. So yeah, peace. Like, subscribe. Peace, like, subscribe. Hold up.